Mr. Hanahan does work with male and female human beings rather than animals in his service. His service is for people.
The service is engaged by people, yes.
It is engaged by people. People before animals, I'm for that. Would the uniform that you wear be anything like that of a bobby in London?
Yes.
Are you a sort of a constable or one of those chaps, and aren't they? Does this product come in contact with the baby when it is being used? Mm-hmm. Might the baby ever put this product in its mouth?
Sometimes.
That might particularly pleasure an animal. Is it something that is very often required for an animal in a certain condition?
Well, I would say again, if I may, Miss Ward, in a given set of circumstances, the general product about which we're talking would be useful to an animal. The conditions would need, however, to apply. There are other instances when we will agree readily that it would not have this highly utilitarian aspect.
No.
And Bennett's face is red.
Now then, never mind what John said.
You see, here we have a problem. When you say, is it smaller than Steve Allen's bread box, do you mean, is it smaller when it is properly applied and used in terms of its cubic content, in terms of air?
Why, such a thing never occurred to me. In your work, would you advise people in any way?
Yes.
Would you counsel them in any way?
Yes.
Might they come to you if they needed help in a marriage problem of any kind?
Yes.
Would you be considered by those people, therefore, a marriage counselor of sorts?
No.
You do... What? What was that? Where am I? Would you be vice president in charge of the wildlife?
No, I would not.
Vice president in charge of...
Well, of the fisheries. Do you have, I don't know what the title would be, commissioner or a...
Oh, the commissioner of fisheries for the state of Oregon?
No.
I wouldn't fight him.
With animals and what you do?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, in a very, in the most general sense.
Don't throw me off the scent, John.
No, I just don't want to mislead you, but as we do have these very broad classifications, you know, animal, vegetable, mineral, etc., and so forth, I would have to agree that Mr. Meyer answered your question correctly.
Well, he is out of doors. I mean, we're not going to argue about that, are we?
He's out of doors.
Well, steers you do use for food, but you don't, I hardly ever eat any bull.
I'll eat it, Arlene, but you certainly hand it out.
Well, is the animal a bull?
Yes. Yes.
You would be more in the punishing side of the law?
Well, now, I would say here, because I think it's only fair to do it, that Bennett's question with respect to a relationship to the law was extremely broad, and nothing should be inferred from the answer that is specific. Hello there.
Does that mean she really doesn't have to do anything to do with the law?
No, Bennett asked a question on a relationship with the law that was very broadly put. We had to agree that the relationship, no matter how tenuous one might consider it, was there, but this does not in any way imply standing, you know?
Swell, John.
Yeah.
I should have said.
Is there anything punitive in your work? No?
No, that's 10 down and no more to go. For once we fooled you. Mrs. Mason prepares income tax returns.
Miss Traylor involved in seeing that the clientele is happier and has a more pleasant time at the hotel?
No,
Was
what
that
we
the
meant
answer?
to convey in the answer was that the recipient of the service who had sought it would certainly enjoy the fact of the service as an individual experience, but this does not necessarily suggest that Miss Traylor has the responsibility, for instance, of arranging vast numbers of people.
I should have left it where it was. Do you wear anything other than the suit that you have on now in your job?
I do.
Would it be considered a uniform of some kind?
That's right.
And it's a uniform that has to do with some non-profit-making organization. Is your job municipal?
No, I would think we will withdraw the question, I believe, because the question was asked as to whether the employer in this instance was a governmental grouping of some kind, and the answer was in the negative.
Where were you?
You mean I was here when this went on? Well, now, anything to do with the buying or selling of properties or houses or real estate?
No.
No?
Here, the answer as given to you is absolutely correct.
All right,
However,
John.
it is possible that in the general area of the work that Mrs. Barton does, others might have some involvement with one of the specific areas which you mentioned. So you proceed, if you will, with the question.
What did he say?
Don't ask him, I'll get a no. Are you interested in the head?
Yeah.
And what goes on inside the head?
To some degree, aren't we? Yes.
No, if it's only to some degree, it can't be the brain, because that would be a very big degree. It does not have anything to do with the brain per se.
No.
Does it have anything to do with the choppers? Yes. Are you a dentist?
Yeah.
My goodness.